Good morning, everybody. Welcome into our campus and welcome to a beautiful day today. And I do have some news. While Punxsutawney Phil did see a shadow, I do have better news that the possum, Sand Mountain Sam down in Alabama, did see his, and Raider 2 was held up in the clubhouse. So we're all good for an opening day coming up on February 13th. So that'll be coming up very soon. Welcome into the 53rd annual Groundhog Day Luncheon. We're thrilled to have you all here today. And it's been just a great tradition over the years, and more importantly, here to support our Blue Raider baseball team. So get ready for a good afternoon of food and fellowship as we rally together to help our Blue Raiders hit a home run to get the season started. Our thanks to Yolanda Green and the folks from First Horizon for their continued support and stepping up to the plate today to be our presenting sponsor. Well, as you arrived, I hope you had a chance over here on this side of the room to check out the items at the silent auction table. We will not close that until the end of the luncheon today, so you have some time here to go check some of those things out. A couple of highlights. There's a Preds package. There's a First Horizon suite package with the sounds. There's an autographed Pete Rose item over there. There's a Jose Canseco bat and Richard Petty autographed items. So several things over there you might want to take a look at. Folks, as we prepare for another Blue Raider baseball season, we do it without some people who have been very close to our program. Since we last met, we've lost a few former players. Hall of Famer Greg Cunningham and a couple of his teammates off the '68 championship team, Tony Kessinger and right fielder Jackie Carver. We also lost former Blue Raider captain and Air Force veteran Dane McNabb. But off the field, we lost two terrific ladies who have been part of our program for a long, long time. Denise Smith, who lost her battle back last summer. We certainly miss her. And over the holidays, of course, we lost our First Lady, Liz McPhee. So let's take a moment to remember all of those and those in your lives who can't be with us today. Thank you so much. Now for our invocation today, please welcome Blue Raider catcher Tyler Minnick.
Please bow your heads with me. Heavenly Father, thank you for this amazing institution here at Middle Tennessee, and thank you for this wonderful event to help us start our 2026 season. I thank you for each and every person in this room as they have contributed to the baseball program, which allows me and my friends the opportunity to live out our dreams. Lord, please bless our time here together, and as we look forward to this season, I pray that you would keep us safe and healthy so that we may honor and glorify you in everything we do. In Jesus' name, amen.
Enjoy your lunch. We'll get the program started in just a bit.
Thank you, sir. Good deal.
It all started back on Groundhog Day of 1974. And Coach John Stanford and Doug McCauley, who was in charge of the food service at the time, held it in Dining Room C across campus over in the James Union building. You know, the traditional menu, I'm not sure if it was actually what somebody asked for or whether Doug went in and found out what was still left in the fridge and they warmed it up. But it has been a tradition ever since, the ham hocks, white beans, tomato salad, and so on. The roster of attendees at that first luncheon, and throughout the couple of years, folks have remembered, okay, yeah, my granddad was there, or somebody, but still the core group that was there included Coach Stanford and Doug McCauley, Coach Jack Deere, Joe Nunley, Paul Cantrell, Jim Simpson, who is here, Harold Smith, Wayne Rollins, Sam Ogilvie, Joe Sawyer, Dan Scott, Bob LaLance, Ivy Chance, and Curtis Mason. And the first few years, it was guys only. But then the president's secretary, Audine Phillips, and Carlene Henry, who, by the way, we have lost within the last year, Miss Carlene, and we certainly miss her, they confirmed that, number one, that groundhog was not on the menu. And once they did that, they decided that they wanted a seat at the table. And being in the president's office, they had some negotiating power, and from then on, the doors were open to everybody. Well, as it grew in popularity, it moved from dining room C out into the Tennessee room. And then from there, Coach Stanford made a play to get lights at the ballpark. And one of those railbirds, the railbirds chipped in, and one of the biggest railbirds, Mr. Reese Smith Jr., the chief, made sure that it happened. And once Stanford turned the reins over to Steve Peterson, the crowds continued to get bigger, and the Tennessee room was not big enough. For a few years, it moved over to the Murphy Center floor, and those were the years of Coach Peterson's dreams of a clubhouse and then eventually a rebuilt new stadium. And those dreams were interpreted every year at this event by Coach Steve Peterson, who worked himself into a trance-like state with the help of a stuffed groundhog. At the time was Raider 1. Pete's dream came true with the new ballpark that we have today, and it was during that time that he came to the conclusion that his work was done at Middle and transitioned into being a full-time granddad. Jim McGuire continued to carry on the flame of Pete's visions and his own dreams, aided by modern audio-visual techniques, video screens. Jim Toman put his own touch on it, and now in year 53, Coach Jerry Myers presides over a program that dates back nearly a century, and here we are today. In the new Student Union Ballroom, surrounded by our fans, our friends, our alumni, and our players, and our guest of honor, Raider 2. He's a first cousin to Punxsutawney Phil and always predicts a great season for the Blue Raiders. This luncheon is more than a celebration of baseball. It's a celebration of our community and its shared love of the sport. And throughout the years, it's brought together fans, alumni, and players from all over the country, and it's helped build and strengthen a bond between them. And today, 53 years after its inception, the Groundhog Day Luncheon remains one of the most cherished traditions at MTSU, and it's a testament to the passion and spirit of the university's baseball community. Whether you're a lifelong fan, a former player, or simply someone who likes the game, and you're maybe new to town, and you could be here for the very first time, it's an event that you don't want to miss. As we move into our program, I'd like to welcome some folks today. I do want to give you a message. Dr. Sidney McPhee sends his regrets that he was unable to be with us today. He is part of the delegation from the university that has been out in Los Angeles for the Grammy Awards, supporting our students and our alums who were up for Grammys this weekend, and he will be seeing you at the ballpark. There are several local, state, and federal officials that are here today. Again, if you're here, please stand. We thank you for your support, and thank you for being here. Let's give them a nice round of applause. We thank them for their support. Down front, we have our members of our University Board of Trustees, including our chairman, Steve Smith, and I'm going to ask Steve to do one thing for me today. Do you mind standing and modeling what you brought with you today? You're not? Okay. Steve brought his letter jacket, and it still fits, so congratulations to him on that. His letter jacket from back in the day. Our university vice presidents are always supportive of this event. If you would please stand, and thank you for your support of the baseball program. Thank you, Joe. Director of Athletics Chris Massaro is here today, and members of the athletic staff, if you would please stand and be recognized. Thank you so much. Our baseball alums, a lot of them are come back to this event. If you would please stand. Our former players that are here today. Also, we mentioned our railbirds. There are some that have throughout the years that have continued to be supportive, and we appreciate them. Any of our original railbirds, Jim Simpson, I know, is one of those that's here today. If you would stand and be recognized. Thank you. And our professional baseball, we have any of our guys in pro ball that are here today? If you are, stand and be recognized. They're all working right now, so that's good. And a very special thanks, if you would, our members of Alpha Omicron Pi sorority for volunteering and helping out at today's event. They've been doing it for years, and they help make our lunch go very smoothly. So give them a nice round of applause and give them our thanks. All right, Coach Jerry Myers is the 23rd baseball coach in Blue Raider history, and he served as interim head coach for the 2023 season after holding the title of pitching coach and associate head coach in 2022. The 2026 season will be considered his fourth season at the helm of the program. After spending the 23 season as the program's interim coach, the Blue Raider baseball head coach Jerry Myers had the interim tag removed from his title at the end of the season, and he was named the head coach of the Blue Raider program in May of 2023. Before arriving at Middle, Coach Myers served 2 stints as pitching coach at South Carolina from 1997 to 2004, and again from 2011 to 2017. And while at South Carolina, he helped lead the Gamecocks to 5 College World Series appearances, a national championship in 2011, and 2 national runner-up finishes in 2002 and 2012. He also developed 13 All-American players during his time in Columbia. Here in Murfreesboro, he and his staff have been tireless workers on the recruiting trail, on the field, and continually upgrading Reese Smith Jr. Field, the Stephen B. Smith Clubhouse, and the Peterson Plaza. If you would, please welcome Coach Jerry Myers.
Thanks, Chip. Chip's the hardest working Blue Raider in showbiz right now, I think. And you look around and you can't go to an event, you can't turn on your radio, you can't turn on the TV without seeing Chip. Let's give him a hand for hosting this event. Before Chip introduces our 2026 team, I'd like to introduce my staff, have them stand as well. Kevin Nichols. Adam Wisniewski. Ryan Huber. Grayson Munyon is our graduate assistant. And support staff, jack of all trades, Chandler Todd. I know you've seen him everywhere. And another that helps us out quite a bit in support is Jenna Buck, if Jenna's here. I know you are. Okay. Also in academic advising, Winifred Counts, who Miss Counts, I think some of your former players, I think, broke out in a cold sweat. Thinking about that phone call when you were late for study hall that Coach was going to get from Miss Counts, or the text that I got this morning. So you can, make sure that you can thank her on the way out for helping you be on time from here on out for your time here. Chip is going to introduce our team. We're going to have a few guys come up as well on our panel, answer some questions and have an opportunity to showcase and put their names and faces together to, obviously talk a little bit about what we have upcoming and what we've done up to this point. A lot of excitement with this season, and we're looking forward to get started.
Thank you. All right. Thanks, Coach. Hard to believe the season will start next Friday, Friday the 13th. Couldn't think of a better day to get the season underway. Bellarmine will be here for the weekend. All right, let's introduce, and I'm gonna give them by numerical order in their, although they're not wearing their jerseys. That's how I'm going by today to get them introduced. and so you'll know these guys when they hit the field this year. Number 1 is Grant Snyder from Franklin, Tennessee, Page High School. You already met Tyler Minnick. He is from Smyrna, Georgia, and from Georgia Tech. Tyler is a preseason perfect game, all-conference USA preseason player, and listed as one of the top 25 catchers in all of college baseball. Tyler Minnick. From Savannah, Tennessee, number 4, Cooper Clapp. From Westerville, Ohio, number 5, Matt Wolf. From Evansville, Tennessee, that's Ray County, number 6, Keaton Ray. From right here in Murfreesboro, Siegel High School, number 7, Lane Akers. From Murfreesboro's Eagleville High School here in Rutherford County, number 8, Nathan Brewer. From Franksville, Wisconsin, number 9, Owen Nowak. From Mount Juliet, number 10, Jack Fortner. From Cincinnati, number 11, Clay Badalak. From Westchester, Pennsylvania, number 12, Dean O'Neill. From Poplar Grove, Illinois, number 14, Chandler Alderman. Did I forget somebody? No. Oh, Brett Rogers from Chattanooga. Lucky number 13. From Raleigh, North Carolina, number 15, Matthew Driver. I need larger type. From Corning, New York, number 16, Landon Birch. From Murfreesboro and Stewart's Creek High School, number 18, Ethan Robinson, number 17, and then Brett Von Dolan from Stewart's Creek. Number 19, told you I needed larger type. Number 20, Jackson Janilla from St. Cloud, Florida. Got that right? All right. Number 21, Abel Albaran from Hendersonville. No, from Arcadia, Florida. Kenny McKinley from Hendersonville, number 21. Barrington, New Jersey's number 26, Mason Dobbs. From Nashville, number 28, Gavin King. From York, South Carolina, number 29, Landon Sexton. From Nashville, number 30, Colin Kerrigan. From Smyrna, number 32, Drew Horn. Preseason All-Conference USA pitcher. From Bradford, Tennessee, number 33, Cole Cates. From Sweetwater, number 34, Ollie Akins. From Johnson City, number 35, Cole Torbett. From Oakland High School, number 36, Cale Vinson. From Ashland, Kentucky, number 37, Johnny Stevens. From Mission Viejo, California, number 38, David Horn Jr. From Columbia, number 40, Connor Bowden. From Annapolis, Maryland, number 41, Calvin Cook. From Savannah, Tennessee, number 43, Ryder Harville. And number 45, from Hueytown, Alabama, John Michael Pickens. And from Lawrenceburg, number 51, Alex Bedford. That's your Blue Raider baseball team, everybody. Give them a nice round of applause. Okay, guys, you all can head back to your seats, except for Tyler, Clay, and Landon Birch. That was a lot of pressure. I ran out of names when I ran out of people. That was good. That worked out nice. Coach Jerry Myers is here. Tyler Minnick coming up. We mentioned Tyler, a top 25 catcher and also a perfect game preseason All-Conference USA player. Landon Birch, a right-handed pitcher from Corning, New York, and Clay Badalak. Clay Badalak is an interesting story. Clay is here because of the Diego Pavia rule. And he got an extra year to play, and we're glad he is back in our infield for another year. So welcome back. Okay, guys, you can grab your microphones. Coach, just kind of give us your thoughts about, I think you're going to be okay. Just kind of your thoughts on building the roster and the group that you've put together this year.
Can you hear me? No?
See, did you?
Is it good?
There you are.
All right, here we go. Well, this year's roster is comprised with really the building blocks of 2 years ago. After that interim season that Chip spoke about, I think we looked at each other, Coach Nichols and myself, at the Conference USA tournament and saw how La Tech and some of the other teams were so much older than we were. The fifth-year seniors, some guys were in their sixth year, somehow had a 6 year of eligibility. And we talked about we have to get older in the next 2 recruiting cycles. We have to get older, more experienced. Obviously, that would entail bringing in some transfers, using a little bit of the portal, which is not our preference or our number one, starting point with recruiting. But we had to get some age on us, and that was also the guys in the program. So we did that. We feel like we did that going into last year. We couldn't stay healthy. This year we have more depth. We feel like our talent is definitely upgraded, definitely have more depth right now, and a lot of competition throughout the field at every position really, but also some returning experience, some more arm talent on our pitching staff. Some of that's not experience, but there's more depth there. So we're excited about getting going. We're excited about this group, but it's not just the talent and the ability that we feel like we have or possess up to this point. It's the makeup and the character. There's a lot of really good guys in terms of understanding the ability to come together as a team and how important it is. There's a selfless attitude in what they do. There's a toughness about them. We got to go prove it on the field. There's a chip on their shoulder. No pun intended. We have, just all the way up and down our lineup. We have so many more options than we've had before that there's a lot of optimism. So as much as we've had to battle some weather and go through some things right now, it's a test that we talked about, getting on the field, shoveling ice, doing what we had to get our work done, especially in the last week and a half, but what they invested in the month of December and going into January to get ourselves ready. Pleased with where we're at. So excited to get going, and I'll answer all questions from Chip except for what the rotation for the weekend may be.
He's told me that 3 times today. Don't ask about the rotation. What I will ask, Landon, being one of the members of the pitching staff, talk about your group of guys in the pitching group and some names that folks are going to see and hear about as the season gets underway. You're there.
I think most of you know from last year, Drew Horn, Chandler Alderman, going to be 2 of our guys, 2 of our dudes. Other than that, I think everything's open. Like Myers said, a bunch of older guys coming in this year, and the dudes that have been here older. Everyone's gotten better. So, we got options.
Yeah.
Lots of them.
And that's good. You want to have options. And I did ask him who was going to pitch on opening day, and he the only thing he would say is it's not going to be one guy on opening day. So be ready to get your scorecards out. Clay, outside of baseball, Jerry mentioned that what you guys had to go through this past week and trying to get the field ready. Ice is probably still out there in the ballpark some places. How much work did you guys as players have to do last week just to get it ready to where you could go out and get some work in?
Yeah, we had to do a pretty considerable amount of work. We had with Seth, our strength and conditioning guy, we had backpack lifts that we had to do at home because we couldn't get to the field. And then besides just going to the facility, we still had guys in there a couple hours a day when it was safe to drive. And there's never a time when guys aren't in there. It's very rare to find a time in the facility when it's empty. So.
Yep. And but you guys, I'm sure you love seeing the sunshine out today, and knowing that here in an hour or so you guys are going to be out there and getting some work in on the field. How important is it, Tyler? You can talk about this a little bit, of being able to maximize your work time outside, because I know that it's nice to have the facility and nice to be able to simulate things, but when you're going into the season, to be able to get real work in out on the field, how important is that?
I think it's very important. Like you said, we have a great indoor facility, and we use it to the best of our abilities, but nothing can replicate being outside. But I think we have done a very good job dealing with the elements, with the snow. We've been able to clear it off and at least get, live ABs, making sure our mound is all right, our home plate is all right, and to get that live pitching feel coming up for the season. So I feel like that's been very good for us, although it has been a challenge to deal with the weather. But I'm happy with where we're at, and I feel like we'll be very prepared for the season.
Good. Jerry, you talked about the makeup of the roster, and I see Coach McDevitt's here, Coach Insel is here, and they all talk
Congrats
about.
on 500,
Yes,
Coach.
congratulations, Coach Insel. Well, number 501 as well.
500 more.
The importance of getting older on your roster, and I was talking to Kevin and Wiz earlier that they were recalling going to the conference tournament, and a couple of years ago, and basically the whole roster was freshmen and sophomores, and now you look and it's so many more upperclassmen and grad students, things like that. Talk about the difference in what that makes as far as getting the job done.
Well, I mean, just because you're older doesn't mean you're more talented, doesn't mean you're more ready to play. But from a physical, the experience, having navigated innings on the mound, having at-bats under your belt, we're in a better spot than we were then. It's not that a young player can't play in the program. It takes a lot of talent. Conference USA was number 5 in RPI as a conference in the country last year. That's your Power Fours and then us as a league. And so that competition, you see it happen in other sports as well, where if you're older, you've been through things. And so if you've been through things, you can handle things better moving forward. As a younger guy who hasn't maybe had the experience, he's got to go through that. So it bodes well. When we get a transfer or we get an older guy, and it's not just the getting older by bringing in older guys, it's the Brett Von Dolens who redshirted his freshman year, along with Brett Rogers the year after that, redshirting that year, Nathan Brewer, and just paying dividends in what they did because of their work ethic in the weight room and having all their eligibility left in front of them. Now with them having at-bats under their belt, Brett hitting 17 homers last year for us. If he would have started as a freshman, he wouldn't be ready to do that in his first 2 years of performing for us. So it's important to be older. We're selective in the young guys that we bring in, but you just can't rely on them in this league. And I know, some other sports, you get the top of the top in terms of maybe some young players you can continue to build, but it's kind of the way that it's changed. I mean, you look at Indiana in football, and one of the oldest rosters in the country, and all the things that entail building a roster these days. And it was probably the more important thing for us was to get the good players that we had in the program at the time experience, and then bring some guys in that, all these guys that either played at JUCO or they played at a 4-year, all right? But that's not the makeup of our whole roster. We have some talented in-state high school guys that have been in the program, know what to expect. They know the routine, and it's a great blend of both right now. So we feel like it's important, and we feel like that experience is going to rub off on some of the guys that don't have that experience and help them develop quicker.
Tyler, Landon gave us a little bit of a scouting report on the pitchers. Talk about the hitters. Who is impressing you in workouts and in the cage?
I'd say that's a very difficult question to answer just because I feel like we have some of the most depth in our position group I'd put up against any team in the conference. I think Coach Nichols has done just an amazing job helping each and every one of us to develop, either the freshmen that come in here from in-state or transfers. Regardless, I think he does a great job. Truth be told, I don't have enough time to go through all the guys. Honestly, we're returning 8 starters. We brought in Owen Novak has done a great job, although he's dealing with a hand injury, but he's coming back from that. He's going to do a great job. We already talked about Brett Von Dolen. He hit 17 homers last year, hit 330, and we all expect him to do the same, if not even more. So there's just a couple that came to mind, but truly there's more than you could possibly know, and I feel very confident with this group.
That's good. And then, in being able to take pressure off the staff, by scoring runs, obviously that's the name of the game. Clay, you've been around here a long time, and Coach talked about Conference USA being the number 5 RPI conference in the country. That's when you take 30 leagues, 30 conferences, 30-plus conferences in the country, and Conference USA is number 5 in the country. Talk about what it's like on those Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, knowing that you're going to be playing some of the best teams in the country night in, night out.
Yeah, even from my junior year, my first year here to last year, that jump that we've faced pitchers that are going in the first, second, third round, you'll get a guy on Friday night every weekend that's going to be a dude. We've got plenty of guys like that too, but just the 2 years that I've been here, we're, like you said, it's a Power 5 program now. And I was talking to my parents about that last night. Like, that's pretty cool that we have the opportunity to face these great teams and measure ourselves up against them and see what we can do.
Your first 12 are at home, and 13 out of your first 14 are at home. Whoever wants to take this to the players, how important is it to play those games at home and get off, and give yourself an opportunity to have a great start in the non-conference? Go ahead, Landon.
I think it's a good way to start our season at home. 14 in a row, you said?
12 in a row and 13 out of 14, yeah.
I think it's a good start. Just get used to playing at home. And then once we get going, once we start traveling on the road, we'll be ready. We're used to playing here. We're used to playing at home. Another thing is teams come down here and they don't think it's cold. They think it's the South. It is the South, but still 30 degrees out. So we've been outside in it, and they haven't. They've been taking ground balls inside. So.
Well, you know about cold weather. You grew up in New York.
Yeah, I know a lot about that.
So this like over this weekend, that was just a different kind of cold, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I think so. Jerry, a couple of things. Number one, I know one thing you're really proud of is over the last 5 years, we've seen an increase in season ticket sales each and every year, and we're knocking on the door of 1,000 season tickets. How cool would that be for you and your guys to be able to break that and know that you've got that continued support night in, night out at the ballpark?
It would be great. Obviously, this is an awesome event right here, and if you don't have a season ticket, we have a table in the corner. You can go ahead and get yours, and we can break that 1,000 threshold
today. Why not?
Yeah, we can do it today, and but we appreciate every bit of that. Whether or not you come to every game, or you come to a few of them, or you give your tickets to someone else who can attend, and you have the family pack. It's the best deal in anywhere around in terms of sports entertainment and what you get, the number of games, especially when we play as many home games as we do. But it gives us an opportunity to hopefully get on a roll, to do our part on the field and put the best product out there that's entertaining for you and competitive and something that you can always take pride in, whether you're a former player or a fan and supporter, whatever it may be. We try to play those games at home early on, and once you get into conference, you can't dictate what your home and away schedule is at that point. And I think it'd be big if we can continue to sell more season tickets, but show up when it warms up if that's what you need. If you need it to be 72 and sunny, I joke with our guys all the time. We can't wait for it to be 72 and sunny. We got to play whatever conditions we're dealt, whatever situation we have, and you know, it's easy to get ready to go when it's 72 and sunny. So same thing with the fan base. If you can come on out and you can get a season ticket or an individual one, or walk up, or have an opportunity, you get a break or a weekend, come out and see us. And if you're a former player, we'd love to. It's an extended, open invitation to come anytime that you can make it. Bring the family and get a chance to talk to us pregame if you get to. You know, watch BP or come by and just say hi and let our guys say hi to you. We got a lot of respect for the guys that want to come back, that have played in the program and set the foundation prior to this club that's going to try to continue that.
One other thing before we wrap up here, the fans have been very generous over the years with the Excellence Fund, helped you do a lot of things within the ballpark, and now in this new age of college athletics, you know, it's more important than ever. And you guys have been able to make upgrades to the ballpark year in, year out. Some things small, some things large, but, you know, every year you come out and there's something new there, and it's because you've gotten support from the fan base.
Yes, and it doesn't go. It's not taken for granted by any means. Bill Marbut's here, and he gets embarrassed when I mention his name in public, and he's been instrumental. Steve Smith, obviously, Will Larimore has done a lot of work. A former student manager here as well, and an integral part of the program back when he was in school. Have helped us do some upgrades along with. The Akers family and a lot of the other former players that have contributed to helping us upgrade and keep up with some of the facilities and, you know, some of the amenities that they have across Conference USA at some of those institutions. So, you know, it's vital. The Excellence Fund is vital to our existence and moving on and building what we're trying to do. There's been some very generous donations given, especially in the last 2 or 3 years since I've been here. Some ongoing monthly donations, and that add up, you know, over the years as well. That it's all very appreciative, and you know, some major gifts that were you know, donated as well. And it's now with the landscape of what you see out there with revenue share, NIL, without going down that rabbit hole or groundhog hole, whichever it is, and talking about all the ins and outs and how that affects baseball, it's imperative that we continue to grow that, and our Excellence Fund has increased, and it allows us some flexibility and maybe to get, you know, a key player that we're competing against sometimes at some point in time in the recruiting process, as well as what we need to continue to upgrade the program. That's our goal. But we got to do our job on the field. We're excited to get going. Our guys are, like I said, have a toughness about them, and you know, there's a sense of urgency that, you know, now is the time for us to make a move, and we're primed and ready to do that. We don't care what the outside noise has. You know, is out there, or what the projections are, any of those kind of things. We're worried about what's in our clubhouse, who gets on the bus, and how we play the game, and we're trying to do it the right way every day.
All right, and that starts for all of us to get to watch them next Friday when Bellarmine comes into town for a weekend series. If you would, give our folks on the panel, Coach Myers, Tyler Minnick, Clay Badalak, and Landon Birch, nice round of applause. Thank you so much, guys. Y'all can hang around if you want to. You can sit there. We've got just a little bit more to go, or you can go. Okay.
I got something. I saved the best for last. I didn't forget, but I wanted to introduce my wife.
That's
my
right.
Incredible wife, Chris.
I saw you got a text about that. So
Yeah.
Chris is back there. All right. Well, you know,
That was a save.
that's good. You made a good move right there. So, when we pinpoint a time when the Groundhog Luncheon began, we know that happened 53 years ago. And you hear us use the word railbirds a lot. And that, trying to figure out when the railbirds actually began is a little more ambiguous, but it's also probably 55 years ago, something like that, back in the early 70s when Coach Stanford took over the program. But what we do know is that Jack Deere and Joe Nunley are regarded as the very first railbirds because they'd take a perch on the top row of the football stadium. On spring afternoons, they'd watch spring football over their shoulder, and they'd watch baseball games out in front of them. Well, while many of our original Railbirds have gone on to their reward, their spirit still lives on at Reese Smith Field, and the tradition of honoring an individual, or individuals in this case this year, with a Railbird jacket. And just like the ones those guys had, they purchased through the bookstore 50 some odd years ago. There are several individuals here today that have been the recipient of the Railbird jacket, and if you are one of those, I saw several walk in, please stand and be recognized. There they are. When you look at those folks, some of the most supportive that Blue Raider baseball has ever had. And I said recipients, plural, of this year's Railbird jacket. Well, they're the absolute truest of the blue, and they are at most every Blue Raider event that you could ever go to, except for today, of course. They have an annual trip to the Hawaiian Islands each year, and they're enjoying some fine winter weather in the South Pacific today. However, take a look at the video monitors. Coach Jerry Myers was able to make the presentation before they left to this year's Railbird jacket recipients, if you haven't guessed it by now, Don and Hannah Witherspoon.
I guess. Well, we have something for you too that we wanted to share with you all before you all went to Hawaii. We actually have Coach here to.
We have a little surprise for you guys.
Oh, hey, how are you?
How are you?
Good.
Good to see you.
Hi, I'm Hannah.
We wanted to honor you with this year's Railbird jacket.
Oh my gosh, well thank you.
For all you do for MTSU and support.
I appreciate it,
Happy
Coach.
baseball program.
Well, we always miss the groundhog
I know
celebration,
so we
but
wanted to make sure we surprised you.
okay.
So,
Well, thank you very much.
so
All
much.
right, all right.
Thank you.
All right, good luck this
All
year.
right, thank you.
We want to
Appreciate it.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Well, they certainly
We were
deserve a
very
round of
surprised,
applause,
and-
not
and
only
very
for
pleased
today,
and
but
very
for
honored.
so much.
We have obviously season tickets for baseball. We're there at every game. Have been to some of the away games, particularly around tournament time.
Well, I have to tell you, a lady at church asked me if I only had blue and white in my closet, and I said it's mostly blue and white because I do wear it all the time. But this is really an honor, and I don't think we deserve it, but thank you very much. But Don and I graduated from MTSU. It was still a college when we graduated years ago. And
Took us a long time to get this gray hair.
that's right. We're so glad we decided to retire and come back to Murfreesboro. And it has, yesterday we were just saying, it's like being in a large family, being here. And so we're really, really pleased that we retired, came back here, and we're pleased that you're honoring us with these jackets.
Well, obviously the new facilities that are being built. We're on the committee for the refurbishing of Murphy Center. We're looking forward to that. But the sports teams obviously have just been tremendous over the years. We're struggling right now in football, but I know we're going to do better. But we've kind of believed that the town and the area just doesn't understand the impact that MTSU has on this community, and we're so happy to be involved. And every time we go to a sporting event, we say, hey, we're kind of part of that team, and that's a great feeling. We both worked our way through school, and we know how tough it is to work and be able to, maintain your studies. And so I think, with the support that we're able to give the BRAA, it kind of helps, some of the athletes who might not have to work on the side to, be able to concentrate on their studies and also their sporting activities.
All right. Don and Hannah Witherspoon, everybody. Very well deserved. As we mentioned, we're just 11 days away from the home opener, and it is a home-heavy schedule, as you mentioned. First 12 and 13 of the first 14 games played right here in the friendly confines of Reese Smith Junior Field. And under Coach Myers, as we mentioned, season tickets have gone up every year. And we'd love for everybody to leave here knowing that you're a season ticket holder today. And again, back in the back, you can take care of that. Also, the silent auction we mentioned over here with a lot of those items, and of course, proceeds from that will go back to the Excellence Fund as well. Final bids will be taken here in just a few minutes as we are getting ready to close. So again, thanks to everybody for coming out today, having a wonderful event. And thank goodness we've got sunshine and it's getting a little warmer out there and it's starting to get to be baseball weather. So as we leave here today, I'll ask you to do whatever you do and wherever you go, be loud, be proud, and be blue. Have a good day, everybody.